Hello everybody, my name is Arturo, and I am a personal trainer. So this is part 3 of how to get thick. So, um, what you really need to know about this is variation of your exercises. And I know I talked about progression before in a lot of other videos, but another part of that is variation. And that helps keep it fresh, for one, for your mental state, I guess. You're not doing the same thing monotonous over and over. There's anything wrong with that. If that's what you like to do, you can keep going with doing what you like. But it also helps in your muscle building to add some variation. And the reason to do that is because you're adding new stresses to your muscles, and your muscles aren't used to doing them, so they have to break down even more, and then they have to build themselves up even bigger. And that's part of progression. If you're just doing if you're just doing squats all day, right? You do squats all day, all the time, and then okay, well, you're moving up in weight. It's eventually going to get a little. Your body's going to get a little normalized to it, but it's also you're still adding weight onto it. It's putting new pressure on it, right? Right? You're putting new stress on it. So that's one way you're kind of getting variation, but not really. It's all the same, really, because it's all the same reactions that your body's having. It's still getting broken down, but if you add variation into it, you do like, okay, well, instead of squats, I'm gonna go do deadlifts, or I'm gonna go do lunges, or I'm gonna go do a leg press, or a one-legged leg press, or a variation of those types of exercises. So it helps. So a good indicator of when you need to start doing this would probably be start variation. So when you start off, and especially if you're a girl, if you're trying to get some thick thighs, some big butts, measure it. Measure it when you first start, and if before you start to see, okay, well, you're losing weight, you're losing body fat, your strength gains are going up, but your body isn't quite getting thicker like you want it to, right? So that would probably be a good indicator. You measure yourself again. It'd be good, and you're not getting there. It'd be a good indicator of when to start changing up your routine. Do a different exercise. Okay, that's why there's so many different kinds. That's one reason why there's so many different kinds of exercises, or even different ways to do the same exercise, right? Because if you can do a squat one way, put it on your rest it on your back, or you can do it in front of you. That's the same. It's still a squat. You're still doing the same action with your legs, but you're putting the weight in a different spot of your body, so when your muscles are going to learn to act differently. And so that's pretty much it. And so I can give you some variations to some exercises for your legs. Like I said, if you can do the front squat, you can do. This is going to be put in a later video, but you can do body weight exercises. Okay, that would be a whole different type of thing. Okay, that's how I got started. I was doing a lot of body weight exercises, then I started getting into weightlifting. Then I had kind of like a peak area, I guess. I'm past it, but I had a peak area where I was at a certain gym, and they didn't have weights that were heavy enough for me. Okay, so I just kept doing the same stuff. I kept doing the same exercise, the same weights, but I was doing them differently. Okay, so I went, okay, well, instead of doing it one way, I'm going to go figure out how to do it another way. So one way would be to do that would be like, the way I did it was started doing like 100 reps for one exercise, and that was one I really wanted to say was like an area I really wanted to concentrate on. And that's going to require lower weight, and then I start breaking it up. Okay, I'll do 10 reps, but then I'll do that 10 times. So I'm still getting 100 reps, but I'm just doing 10 at a time, taking a short break, and keep at it again. Then I started just changing the order of my exercises. So if I came in and did, a squat and then a barbell curl, I would do it in the reverse order. I would do a barbell curl and then a squat. Okay, so that you can change it that way. There's so many different ways you can variation. I probably couldn't even list them all. There's so many out there, and that's one reason why Google's a good resource for certain things like this, because it tells you, as long as you get it from a good source, it can tell you things like different ways that have been proven to be good for, getting muscle. So, yeah, body weight exercises, the 10 by 10, the 100 reps I just told you about, changing the order, and then also you can do compound movements, which is requiring basically your whole body to move, whereas a different isolation would be like you're just moving one body part. So like that would be like a one-legged squat basically. Or you can go from static exercises to like movement exercises. Static is where you're just sitting still, so like a plank would be, a static exercise. The ones that you're moving, open chain, which is, and closed chain exercises. Open chain is, well, I can move one part of my body, but that's not going to affect the rest. Closed chain is where, again, the whole body is moving. So, those you can variate all those kinds of exercises. This is all kinds of stuff that I think about actually when I'm putting into plans, and I have to think about, okay, well, what is this person's goal too when I'm making their fitness plans, and I have to find the exercise that fits them best, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe they have some sort of chronic disease or some sort of disability, then I have to work around that. Okay, so it's scientific, but it's also kind of an art. Channel name right there. It's also kind of an art thing. So you have the artist part too. You got the scientific part. You got the art part's a big part of it. So you have different ways to variate your exercises. And I really wish I could think of more at the moment, but I knew going into making this video, I wouldn't be able to think of them all. There's one that's been on my the front of my head that I don't think is ever gonna get out. So, oh yeah, okay, here it is actually. So, some people move from a compound exercise to more muscle isolations. So a compound exercise would be like a lat pull down, right? You're pulling it down. It's a lat pull down. It's one as you pull down. And that's a compound exercise because you're moving both sides of your body at the same time. Where an isolation would be, okay, I'm just pulling down one, right? So it doesn't have to be those two. So it could be, I want to work my back today, right? I start with a compound exercise, and then later I'll go into a one-sided reverse butterfly. Okay, so I'd be moving my arm back like this. Say that would be more isolation. Okay, and the reason people do that is mainly because when you're moving more parts of your body, you're making more testosterone. There's different reasons for doing it. And then the isolations is like, okay, well, I want to get one side to match the other, strengthen it. Compounds are also good for that. It really doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as you're consistent with doing it to make them match. So, like I said before, you can also reverse that. I'm going to do an isolation. So today, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the one side, and then later on, I'll do the compound. So that's one way you can change the order up. You can change the weight. That's a variation, and it's all and progress. So if you're for this specific type, so progression, you have to, if you want to do, just go for pure looks. You're trying to get a big butt. The bigger your butt gets, that's progression. Okay. And you don't have to lift 300 pounds off the ground to get a big butt. You can still stick with mildly heavy weights and still progress just with the variation. Um, but at some point you still have to have the increase in weight, but it's still it's one. It's just another way to think about doing it. Okay, it's they're both hand in hand, um, but it's all in your style. Okay. So that's all I'm gonna leave for this episode. Um, I think the next couple ones I will do about different kinds of bodyweight exercises. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys like this, I'm gonna definitely do more. So you should think about subscribing, liking, and share this with all your girlfriends so they can learn how to get thick too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh, sorry. I'll see you ladies next time. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.